Zach, I know you've probably been asked this before, but to refresh our memories, how much did you know about Jim Stein and his legacy and how going when you were back in the day?
I knew of Jim Steins, obviously. Don't think I appreciated the significance or the significant impact he had on the game or his kind of legacy post-career, and only really got to understand that when I came out. I think the good thing is, with the more and more Irish guys and girls now that are coming out, his legacy is getting much more kind of publicity back home, and people are aware. But no, I must admit, I was kind of blown away to see just how significant a character he was.
Does that make the fact that you're eclipsing his mark this weekend more special for you, or is it? I mean, have you researched the Stein story, knowing that there is such an intrinsic link to himself?
Yeah, it's a strange one. I'm obviously proud that I've been able to play as long as I have, and he's everyone's hero. You almost feel guilty playing more games than him. I think it's probably mostly because I don't really feel like I belong in Jim's category as a player, and obviously not in terms of just legacy. So it's a strange one to feel that I'm now kind of on par with him in games. Yeah, proud, super proud. But yeah, I don't really know how to feel, to be honest.
Do you feel like, when you say you feel like you're guilty, is it strange having all the fanfare as a leading up to passing the milestone?
Yeah, I'm obviously super appreciative of it. And like I said, I haven't really thought about it until kind of recent weeks when it got closer and closer, and I wasn't sure what to expect in the build up to it. But yeah, it's nice. The club are good at celebrating our own people, so it's nice.
It's a bit different, because milestone marks are usually 50, 100, 150, and then you've got one that only you can get. And you and a few others, and it's 250.
Yeah, it's a non-traditional milestone for sure. But like I said, it's one that's been around for a long time, and I do think the Irish players probably have a unique challenge in the game. And you talk about Jim's legacy. I mean, I'm not sure how long clubs would have continued to pursue Irish players if we didn't have Jim initially, and Sean White at the time, and then Tig and Pierce Hanley just before me. So it's hard to know, whether or not I would have ever been given the opportunity to make it this far if those guys hadn't forged their own careers. So yeah, it's a strange one. But
was it ever part of the thought process, at least going maybe into the last couple of seasons, that you were, once you passed, especially that 200 game mark, you were sort of closing in on that record at all?
Not really, to be honest. 2020, I had some body issues and I wasn't sure how much longer I was going to get. Fortunately, got over them, and the last couple of years have been great. But no, I've genuinely never been thinking about this as a milestone. I've made it pretty public that the only thing kind of driving me, certainly since I got to Geelong, was trying to win a premiership, and anything else is a bonus. So it is nice to rack up a few extra games, but my ultimate goal was kind of achieved last year, and now it's about trying to add to that tally.
Looking back on, I guess, especially the last couple of years, obviously you mentioned the grand final, does this milestone, now that you're right in face of it, sort of stack up sort of alongside those sort of things in terms of your legacy as you
Yeah, I must admit, it wasn't really something I thought about at all, but now that it's kind of right here, it does feel a bit surreal. My goal initially was to play one game, and then maybe 100 seems like a good effort for an Irish player. Yeah, I must admit, I do find myself thinking about quite a bit right at the minute. Yeah, I genuinely never thought I'd get here. Not that I thought I couldn't, it just was never on the horizon for me. So to kind of be a week out from it is, yeah, it's odd, but honoured, obviously.
In terms of the memorable moments in your career, where does accidentally finding a bloke out with buddy's 1,000th goal and then having to chase him down and hand him I can't imagine that's something you envisaged when you were
No, that was a strange situation. I wasn't too happy to be involved in that whole situation at the time because we were losing and I was already a bit sour. But yeah, the guy, I can't even, he dropped his wallet and his keys, and it was funny, I remember going back to grab him, and I was pretty angry at the time, and I kind of grabbed him by the collar, and I could tell he wasn't sure what was coming back the other way. Yeah, I've had a few good moments in my career, but that's probably the oddest, I would say.
Now that you're sort of in the side with Mark Connor and other Irish machine as well, that plays first game this year, being a sort of more senior member, not only of the big club but of the Irish contingent out in Australia playing over, do you sort of have those sort of conversations about sort of how you forged your path in career?
Yeah, if they feel like they need it. With the Irish guys we brought out, we had Stefan Ockenberg as well a couple of seasons ago. They're coming out pretty well made. Like they're super professional as it is. I think clubs are better at looking after players now than they were when I got out. So to be honest, I don't feel like they need a whole lot of guidance, but hopefully they know, and there has been times that I've been there for them and been able to help them. Because I know that was the case for me with Satanta at Carlton when I arrived, and his brother Isaki. But they're just coming out so switched on that I don't really feel I'm almost a bit surplus to requirement, but if they do ever need me, I hope they know I'm here.
There's certain skills that are, somewhat exclusive to Australian rules. One of them is the barrel, the torpedo. How does it like a grunt kicking you around? Manage to nail the torque better than
I think I miss them far more often than people realise, but the good ones do look good. I'm not sure. I did used to do it in a lot early days. Mick at Carlton was a big fan of the barrel, and I don't know. It's unorthodox. It's just not one of the kicking in general. There was a lot of areas I struggled with coming out, and I did struggle with that a little bit, but relatively speaking, that was kind of a smooth enough transition. So I'm not sure, but it just seems to have clicked for me.
Do you practice it? We put Gary going trying to dog them out there, and you didn't have any.
Now, we usually have a little comp at the end of every session just from the 50 there. It's not as structured as you might think kicking practice is, because we are just trying to flush them from 70, but we will stick a coffee on at some sessions and have a barrel off.
And from a team perspective, it's sort of been, it feels a little bit 2 steps forward, 1 step back in the, so far this season, and we saw that again. You beat Melbourne and you come out and draw against Sydney. Have you been able to sort of pinpoint why it is that you haven't been able to get the momentum you had last year?
We played pretty well last year, and Sydney up in Sydney are no gimme. I wouldn't have said that was a lock away 4 points going in. But look, there's been a few things, I guess. We've had some challenges with personnel. We've gotten some new guys into our side, and we've just underperformed at different stages. But fortunately for us, it feels a little bit like we've been here before, where we haven't played our best footy in the first half or first 2/3 of the season and come home pretty strong. And I think if you look across the competition right now, there's obviously a few really strong teams, but it does feel like if you just get there this year, you could really cause a big shake-up. And for us right now, it's just kind of focusing on trying to bank as many wins as soon as we can, and then we can hopefully build into a big finals campaign, because it's the last 4 weeks that matter.
There's a big conversation
We don't talk about it a whole lot, to be honest, but playing in Geelong is obviously something we love. I think we've got a pretty good record down here. But for me personally as a player, I don't really mind where we play. Obviously travelling is more difficult. I mean, it's home advantage is an advantage in every sport in the world, and there must be a reason for it. So it is nice to have games in Geelong, but we're not really relying on that. But it certainly doesn't hurt to be able to get teams down here where historically they've struggled.